Colombia has declared a state of emergency after a powerful magnitude 7.4 earthquake struck the western region of the country, killing at least 132 people and damaging or destroying over 1,500 homes nationwide.
콜롬비아 서부에서 규모 7.4의 강진이 발생했습니다. 이로 인해 최소 132명의 사망자가 나오고 건물 1,500채 이상이 파손된 가운데 콜롬비아 정부는 국가 비상 사태를 선포했습니다. Yes, so a major earthquake in Colombia.
Absolutely. And it is a developing situation right now. The latest reports I'm seeing on the news wires, Reuters is reporting at least 250 people. So it looks like the death toll may continue to increase.
Yeah.
But going back, this earthquake happened back on Monday local time when it struck at a depth of 103 kilometers in the western part of the country. The country's president, newly inaugurated, has declared a national disaster situation, and what that does is it unlocks special powers and allocates emergency funding to areas that need it. I've seen video coming out from Colombia on my social media feeds showing just buildings just rocking back and forth, and it seems just this year alone, I think there have been at least 10 magnitude 7 earthquakes recently in Venezuela.
Yeah.
We had the twin earthquakes. I think the Philippines also had a major quake as well. And with these natural disasters, you hear these human stories come out. One story, apparently these teenage brothers that were in the Venezuela earthquakes where they lost their family, relocated to Colombia and now experience this earthquake recently as well.
Yeah. So 굉장히 안타깝고 슬픈 대형 지진인데 지금 셰인 선생님께서 말씀하신 대로 베네수엘라에서도 최근에 지진이 있었는데 그 베네수엘라에서 살던 형제, two brothers, 형제가 콜롬비아로 이주를 했는데 또 이런 지진이 일어나서 굉장히 안타까운 소식이네요. 7.4의 강력한 지진이 발생해서 건물들도 굉장히 많이 무너지고 지금 그 사상자 수가 계속 늘어나고 있다는 소식입니다. 그래서 이 대통령도 취임한 지 얼마 안 됐죠.
Yeah, newly inaugurated.
네, 그리고 이 21세기 들어서 콜롬비아에서 관측된 지진 중에서 가장 강력한 지진이라고 하네요. 아까 조금 설명을 해주시기는 했는데 when a country declares a state of emergency, it kind of gives the president powers to do a lot more than usual.
Right, where help is necessary. So when you declare something, you're making a formal announcement, right? Like the Declaration of Independence. So you're announcing that there's an emergency situation and special measures or powers go into effect.
Right. 이 declare a state of emergency, 비상사태를 선포한다 이런 얘기인데 뭐 법적이나 정치적인 표현이죠. 그래서 자연재해나 전쟁, 전염병 이런 걸로 인해서 국가나 지역이 정상적으로 작동하기 어려울 때 정부나 최고 권력자가 공식적으로 위기 상황을 알리는 그런 행동인데 뭐 예산을 즉각적으로 투입할 수 있고 재난 복구 이런 거를 위해서 예산을 바로 투입할 수 있는 그런 권한을 부여하는 거죠. 그다음에 we said that the earthquake it struck the western region. We used the verb strike.
To strike. Struck obviously is the past tense. And
Yeah.
strike has a lot of meanings,
Yes.
but in this case, when something suddenly hits something, it affects something or someone, we say, we use this word. I think it's similar in Korean too, but
Yeah.
It's much like when you hit something like a baseball,
Right.
we say strike.
Right. 강타하는 거죠. 그래서 뭐 물건이 될 수도 있고, 뭐 사람이 될 수도 있고, 재난이 무언가를 강하게 때리거나 덮치는 그런 상황을 강타한다, strike라는 동사가 쓰였습니다. All right, so let me read the headline one more time. Colombia has declared a state of emergency after a powerful magnitude 7.4 earthquake struck the western region of the country, killing at least 132 people and damaging or destroying over 1,500 homes nationwide. Okay, let's move on to the next headline.
Global ocean temperatures hit an all-time high of nearly 21 degrees Celsius last month, driven by a combination of Atlantic and Mediterranean marine heat waves, alongside a developing El Niño in the Pacific, according to the EU's Climate Monitoring Agency.
유럽연합 기후변화 감시기구 발표에 따르면 대서양과 지중해 해양 폭염에 더해 태평양에서 발달 중인 엘니뇨 현상까지 겹치면서 지난달 전 세계 해수면 온도가 섭씨 21도에 육박하는 사상 최고치를 기록한 것으로 나타났습니다.
Yeah.
Concerning news, global warming.
It's been hot everywhere, it seems, and it's not just here in Korea. These global ocean temperatures, not including the polar regions, so the North Pole and the South Pole. The previous record was back in 2023 when it hit 20.89. This year it hit 20.96. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it is significant. And a big reason for this is Europe has had a prolonged heat wave, it seems. And then, like the headline suggested, this El Nino pattern in the Pacific. But what's more troubling here is that with this dry weather, minimal rainfall, water discharge from rivers in Europe like the Seine, the Rhine, the Danube, it drops well below their long-term averages. And what that creates is this extreme lack of moisture and falling river levels. And that it diminishes drinking water supplies for people. And it affects ecosystems, energy production. So anyone who thinks climate change is something that's going to happen, hundreds of years from now, no, climate change is affecting us right now at this moment.
Yeah, I think we can feel it. 지금 다 느끼고 있는 것 같아요. 그래서 그 전 세계 바닷물 온도가 관측 역대 최고치를 기록했다는 굉장히 걱정스러운 소식인데 이게 이 땅이 바싹 마르면서 이 열을 식혀주는 그 자연 냉각 기능이 떨어져서 폭염과 가뭄이 서로를 더 악화시키는 It's like a vicious cycle basically. Everything's going around. 악순환이 계속 발생을 하고 있고 그래서 강도 말라붙고 또 물 공급이 하천 운송, 에너지 생산 계속 서로 악영향을 미치고 있고 비상이 걸린 상태라고 하는데 if you look at it, the number it went from 20.89 degrees to 20.96. Like you mentioned, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's creating this vicious cycle.
Absolutely. Yeah.
표현을 한번 봅시다. 그러면 so we said it's a combination. So like we mentioned, it's a vicious cycle, but all these things are coming together as a combination.
Right. When there are more than two reasons, when there are two or more reasons for something happening, we say there's a combination of A and B and C and so on and so forth.
네. 그 combination 그럼 무엇의 조합이나 무엇의 결합이라는 뜻인데 이 두 가지 이상의 요소, 성질, 사물 이게 하나로 겹쳐진, 하나로 합쳐진 상태.
Yeah.
Combination pizza.
That's the first thing I was going to say. Or, I will say this though. In Korean, you say kombi. Our kombi.
Yeah.
kombi가 좋아.
Yeah, 환상의 kombi.
Yeah, but kombi is not used in English, right?
Don't say it.
But you can say combo.
Yeah.
Combo is used like a combo meal
Yes.
at a fast food restaurant, right?
When you put together different things into one,
Yes.
right? So combination of something, 무엇의 조합, and then we also use the word alongside.
Yeah, alongside. So again, when there are multiple reasons or factors here, when you're next to or beside someone or together with someone, we say alongside.
Yeah. So alongside 그럼 무엇과 함께 또는 무엇의 옆에라는 뜻인데 지금 저희가 봤을 때는 이 엘니뇨와 이런 것들 이것과 약간 겹치다 이런 표현으로 쓰였어요. All right, so let me read the headline one more time. Global ocean temperatures hit an all-time high of nearly 21 degrees Celsius last month, driven by a combination of Atlantic and Mediterranean marine heat waves alongside a developing El Nino in the Pacific, according to the EU's Climate Monitoring Agency. Okay, let's move on to the final headline.
A 2,100-year-old Roman shipwreck carrying around 500 ancient wine jars has been discovered off the coast of Sicily in what Italian officials are calling one of the most significant underwater archaeological finds in recent years.
약 500개의 고대 와인 항아리를 실은 2100년 전 로마 시대 난파선이 시칠리아 해안에서 발견됐습니다. 이를 두고 이탈리아 당국은 최근 몇 년 사이 수중에서 이루어진 가장 중요한 고고학적 발견 중 하나라고 평가했습니다.
Yeah, so Italian officials, cultural officials, were able to locate this shipwrecked ship after they were tipped off by local fisheries or fishers, I should say.
Yeah.
This ship measured at about 21 meters long, 6 meters wide. And remember, this is 2,100 years ago. We're not talking about the Renaissance or the Middle Ages. This is before BC.
Yeah.
We're talking about
Yeah.
here. So this is a very old ship.
Very, very old.
Yeah, and these, at first I thought they found wine, so I was thinking we need to go there and find this wine. But they found wine jars, which are highly valuable to researchers because not just for the jars themselves, but what they can do is they can reconstruct how commercial trade routes worked
Yeah.
between Italy and other countries along the Mediterranean.
Yeah, apparently it was discovered by a freediver.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so this freediver, 이 프리다이버가 바닷속을 그냥 수색하다가 바위인 줄 알고 다가갔는데 놀랍게도 옛날 로마인들이 와인을 실어 나르던 이 항아리 암포라라는 항아리라고 해요. 이 수백 개가 빽빽하게 쌓여 있는 것을 발견해서 이 전문가들이 조사를 해보니 기원전 2세기 무렵에 만들어진 항아리들과 뭐 대형 닷 부품이 함께 확인되고 이는 고대 지중해 교역의 비밀을 풀어줄 굉장히 중요한 열쇠가 될 것으로 보인다고 합니다. 그래서 뭐 이탈리아 문화부에서도 최근 몇 년간 나온 수중 고고학적 발견 중에서 가장 중요한 성과라고 굉장히 기뻐하고 있다고 합니다. I don't know. Maybe they might find other treasures
Perhaps.
out there off the coast of Sicily.
Yeah,
so
so
off the coast.
This boat was not found on the coast, but just near the coastline.
Yeah.
So when something's just near the sea or the ocean or any other body, usually an ocean or a sea, right?
Yeah.
You say off the coast of, you can say just offshore from as well, right?
So off is kind of used when something is slightly away from.
Yep.
살짝 떨어져 나가 있을 때 off라는 표현을 쓰는데 off the coast of 그러면은 이 뭐 무엇의 해안 그 앞바다에서 조금 멀지 않는 바다 그 바다 위를 가리키는 이 지리적인 표현이죠. 그리고 archaeological find라는 표현을 썼는데요.
Yeah, these are any sort of remains from the past that will tell us about how people lived in the past. But what's interesting here is find is used in the plural here, right? So finds, because he found more than one. But usually as a verb, you would never do that. But it's like discoveries. You can use the plural.
Or artifacts.
Artifacts.
Right,
yeah.
right. 발견물, finds. noun으로 쓰였어요. 명사로 쓰였죠. 그래서 verb로 뭐 find something, 찾다 이런 의미가 아니라 어떤 발견물, 뭐 유물 이런 의미로 쓰였고 archaeological finds 그러면 고고학적 발견물, 고고학적 유물이라는 뜻으로 쓰였습니다. 그래서 뭐 역사학자들이 땅을 파거나 바닷속에서 탐사해서 찾아낸 그런 고대 물건들을 의미할 때 사용된 그런 표현이죠.
What's more interesting is they actually drank wine back 2,000 years ago,
Of course
too.
they did.
I didn't assume that, but...
Well, because clean, fresh water was difficult to find.
So once water was found, they immediately made wine. Oh, out of grapes. There you go. Okay.
Well, the region is famous for wine, isn't
Sure.
it? Italy?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. In any case.
All right. Let me read the headline one more time. A 2,100-year-old Roman shipwreck carrying around 500 ancient wine jars has been discovered off the coast of Sicily in what Italian officials are calling one of the most significant underwater archaeological finds in recent years. 자, 지금까지 뉴스캐스터 셰인과 함께 오늘의 헤드라인 자세히 살펴봤습니다.